The garden rescue team are on a mission.
Look at that!
To create beautiful green spaces in family homes.
What do you think? I think that's super cool.
And make people's garden dreams come true.
Fab.
Charlie Dimmock
Pushes the boundaries out.
the much-loved queen of the family garden.
What could go wrong?
The Rich Brothers,
Good luck, boyo.
creators of classy, trend-setting outdoor spaces.
It's such a nice pop of colour, isn't it?
And Arit Anderson,
That's brilliant.
an award-winning designer with a distinctive sense of style.
A lot of these plants are quite easy to maintain.
They're here to answer garden emergencies
There is a lot to be done.
based on the client's needs and budget.
So I think it's definitely challenging.
2 sets of designers create and pitch
Right.
garden plans.
Wow.
But only one can win.
Oh, Chazza.
Has to help them build it.
Oh, look at that!
This is what happens when 2 different styles collide
What's not to love?
to turn garden dreams into reality.
Oh, Charlie, I love you.
That's a bit better, isn't it?
Today, Charlie takes on the Rich Brothers to design a recycled garden.
Okay, so here we have Rebecca and Michael and their 2 daughters, Eleni and Thea, and they're from Christchurch.
They obviously like being out in the sunshine outside.
They do.
Good.
Absolutely, yep. Now, you ready for this, guys? Look at that.
Well, the patio's down.
I mean, that is literally all it is.
There is nothing to it at
Well, I call
all.
it the prison yard, don't I?
Yeah, yeah, you do.
'Cause that's what it feels like.
If Eleni or Thea have been naughty, they just send them out there and they...
Circle.
I think they certainly make the most of it as it is at the moment.
Bikes,
Because
scooters, skateboards, because it's flat and with the paving, they can just loop and go round in circles. So that's all they can do in the garden. I'm embarrassed by the garden. It's really bleak, especially when it rains. It's just grey, and yeah, there's just no life.
There's no plants, except for the tree next door. Well, they don't need a patio, but what would they like?
Yeah. Well, they love the idea of the garden being very colourful, very serene, and a lot more private than it is now.
So some plants is what you
and some
really
fencing.
want then.
This will be our forever home. So we want a garden that reflects the house, that it's modern. Because it's so plain, we don't have any inspiration. We don't know where to start.
Well, there is actually an interesting spin on this garden. So Rebecca works for a plastic recycling company.
So being able to reclaim materials, sort of giving them a permanent use, I think was really important to me. And to the girls, that's something that's really key for us.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
That's interesting, actually.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
you generally don't like the idea of plastic going into gardens, but obviously this is recycled.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So it locks it up in some way rather than it bouncing around in
Yeah.
our sea and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Might have to do some homework on those.
I know.
What's the budget?
So the budget's £3,000.
OK.
I mean, it does open a whole new door, really, doesn't it, this plastic idea? It'd be quite interesting.
Fantastic. And £3,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for this.
The designers have come to Christchurch in Dorset to see the garden for themselves.
Look at all the activities you can do in here.
No.
That's new age hips. It's called hop hippity hipscotch.
Yeah.
You can tell
You'd have been out of the game.
That's what I love about this garden.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
I mean, it's a usable space, isn't it? But unfortunately, it's just got no character. It is bland. Yeah.
Plants, no privacy. But
Barbecue.
definitely paving and fencing.
Yeah.
And that beautiful rose, the one beautiful plant.
We've got the girls' bikes there, haven't they? So, I mean, I'm sure they use this. I'm sure they get a lot of fun out of it, but it's just not a proper family space, is it? It's not going to be great.
Right, well, there's nothing here, so we can have a look inside.
What am I going to do?
Charlie, there's a really interesting plant in that corner. Go.
Get the barbecue going now.
I just go
We'll
and
be back
stand in
out.
the corner like I did at school. Playtime. Charlotte, go and stand in the corner.
Beautifully modern kitchen.
It's wonderful, isn't it? It feels really clean, definitely very stylish.
It's a really open space. You can see as a family, I reckon they get a lot of use from it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And I think this is very clearly their style, isn't it?
And I like the colour tone as well. It's kept quite muted.
It is, yeah.
Which, you know, shows it's quite an urban look, isn't it? Quite a modern look.
Michael, Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, definitely an outdoor space.
Yep.
Yep.
I think we're being sort of sort of inventive calling it a garden.
Yes, very true.
And what sort of feel do you want from the garden? Do you want modern? Because the house from here, looking at the patio, is very sleek and modern and cool, or do you want eclectic and...
We
Modern.
love modern.
Yeah?
Lines. Yeah.
Clean lines with splashes of colour. Yeah, we do like modern. Yeah, I mean, often sometimes being near the beach, you know, people think sort of shabby chic. It's not so much us.
Oh, OK.
No.
Better get my game face on here, then.
That's a real feature wall, isn't it?
It is. How playful. It's wonderful. Really draws the eye, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's a lot of fences outside. I mean, you look straight at them.
Yep.
I think climbers would be nice, but I love the idea maybe of having a bold wall.
Might be so nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, exactly. You hang a picture on a wall through plastics. So why can't we create some sort of, I don't know, some tapestry of containers, boxes, things
Put
like
some
that?
herbs in, maybe?
Oh, that'd be fantastic fun,
Yeah,
wouldn't
I'd
it?
love that.
That's
Yeah,
right, yes.
Melanie and Thea?
Yes.
That's right, yeah.
How old are they?
7 and 4.
So when we come to design in the garden, we need to think about them
Yeah.
as well as you guys.
Yeah, an entertaining space for us, but also somewhere they can come and relax.
And do you like gardening yourselves?
I mean, I can keep some plants alive, but
Not
yeah.
many.
So you don't mind doing some work?
No,
in the
no.
No,
garden?
absolutely not.
It'd be
Yeah.
nice to do some stuff with the girls as well. They do enjoy it, and they love being outside, so doing something with them, I think, would be quite good.
I love kids' art.
It's the freedom, isn't it, and creativity just to make anything, stick anything down. But I think that would be a lovely idea. I mean, there's so many different materials all patched together. Again, in the garden, you know, it's all about recycling. It's all about materials, really. So I think it'd be great to be able to maybe use some different ones, tie them all together and make this gorgeous artwork.
Well, yeah, definitely. You've got some slabs, maybe even like a timber board, something circular, like a log. You never know. I mean, that could become a really fun thing.
Well, I think almost all this inspiration has designed this garden for us.
Oh, fantastic.
Coming out and having a barbecue, are you slightly conscious that everybody's watching you?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's a new development behind, so we are we are overlooked.
So we're definitely saying somewhere to entertain,
Yep.
not only for you, but for the girls.
Yes.
Yep.
Learning about gardening, enjoying that space. Play area, but not necessarily plastic swings and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yes, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there anything you really, really don't want in the garden?
I don't think, well, me personally, I'm not too keen on water features, but yeah, just...
I think that's probably it. We're
Yeah.
quite open, to be
Yeah.
honest, just to see
I mean,
what,
it's so
what you
blank,
guys come up with.
You can go crazy.
Having shared this new information, the designers get to work. Each of them will come up with a plan for Rebecca and Michael that works within the budget. The couple will choose their favourite, and whichever designer loses will help the The £3,000 budget will be spent on materials, while Charlie and the Rich brothers, along with their team of landscapers, provide the labour for free. Back in Christchurch, it's time to pitch the ideas.
Hello.
Hiya.
OK. So this is our design.
Yeah.
Definitely looks greener than what you've got at the
It
moment.
certainly does, yeah.
So really, the garden leads straight out from the house. It's got a lovely connection with it, especially with this nice big open space for entertaining. So that's really important.
It's quite clearly split into two spaces.
Wanting them to create a lovely texture on the floor, but also a little bit of history. And it's just a family garden, somewhere where you guys can actually start using, learning, and just, you know, it's going to grow with you guys.
Rebecca, Michael.
Hiya.
Oh, my God.
There's a lot going on.
That's cool.
I've zoned the garden, grown-up area, child area, but adults can go into it. Lots of planting with lots and lots of colour. So this area here at the back will be quite wild.
The designers have both split the garden between adults and children. What are they providing for seating and entertaining?
First area leading out the house, this is the entertainment. This is the idea that it's just a nice extension of the house. It's somewhere you can sit, dining table there, or you've got a brick bench there.
And this front area really is focused around loose structure from hedging, and that's going to give you year-round interest. But that also helps to divide the garden, so it creates these lovely, cosy spaces where you can wander in and sit.
Now, I know you like sleek and lines, but I've kept this area here, coming out of your kitchen, fairly simple and sleek. Reusing paving, then runs in to this repurposed decking that runs round there. Built-in seating, again, using the recycled plastic decking. And this really, adults can spill into this decking area, but it's for the children. They can run round and round in circles.
Both designers have put an adult area by the house, but what are they planning for the children?
And then the back area of this garden is all about kind of family use. We've got a nice open bit of lawn, and around the outside of that, then we've got meadow, which is great for bees and butterflies.
Compared to this hard, horrible stuff, that is going to be a dream.
It really would.
It's going to be
green, isn't it?
But this idea that you just got this breathing space in the garden, it's nice and open, you can use it however you'd like.
And then you comes to the vegetable area, which is just 2 raised veg beds. And then we love the idea of bringing in some soft fruits, something fun to pick, especially with the girls. If they're making kind of dessert or something, they can go and get some raspberries or something.
Lovely being with Mum and Dad, but it's also lovely having your own little sort of den come hidey hole. And we've got this sort of structure over there using sort of reinforcing bar to make like a den, and they can grow things up it. I was thinking something like the chocolate vine, which sort of grows really quickly, and it smells of chocolate and has these slightly odd flowers, which are quite fun. And I just thought this would be lovely, so that if you can be sat there, the girls can put on a little show for you.
Sounds about right.
Charlie has threaded reclaimed materials throughout her design. But how are the brothers including the all-important recycled material?
Pathway here that leads out from the house. So the idea with this is it's going to be a lot of reclaimed material. So we're going to break up some of these slabs, we're going to get some old bricks, maybe old bits of wood, things like that. Nothing that's going to look too crazy, but that's going to give you quite an interesting pathway, really, that's just going to be filled with almost little bits of history. And it's exactly what we want to do with the bench as well. So we're going to have like again, just reclaiming materials. And then also in the veg area, we just want to have utilise the fences. So we want to put some maybe milk cartons that have been cut and hook them on. Got some nice little herbs growing out of that. It's something that we can recycle to create some sort of shelving, bug hotels, bird boxes.
The couple were concerned about being overlooked. What have the designers included to create privacy?
When you're sitting in the garden now, you just feel like you're overlooked, really. You can't relax. So we want to introduce some lovely trees and shrubs into this area. And straight away, that's going to bring focus into the garden itself. So your views will be blocked from outside. You might capture the trees and things in the distance, but all the kind of roofs will suddenly become kind of, non-existent.
We've got this raised bed in the centre, again with another key feature tree. Some tree planting or large shrubs to give you shade and privacy, but it makes this area feel quite an intimate space to entertain.
As addressed, Charlie has taken a gamble.
Now, I know you said you didn't want water. Just a pool of water. It'll be high enough that it's safe, it's not deep. The children like to touch it. It'll spill out and drop down through a grid. You'll get the gentle sound of the noise, which is quite relaxing. And when you've got a really hot patio, it'll make you feel quite cool.
You've both given us a lot to think about, actually.
Yeah, really
I will leave you doing that.
The pitches are over.
Wonderful. All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Michael and Rebecca have a difficult decision. Which design to pick?
I thought it was a really cool roof. I quite like the idea that it's all about kind of recycling and showing how you can use materials differently. Yeah.
It's tough. I think we need to think about the girls as well. What would they love? What would they enjoy being in?
You didn't go for cool, modern, sleek, did you?
No, it's a bit woolly around the edges, if you know what.
Really, taking me by surprise.
I know.
I really love this one.
What did you have in there that was reclaimed or recycled?
I used that composite decking.
That's something you mentioned, isn't it, in terms of the composite kind of recycled materials, which she's nailed it with that, hasn't she?
What did you put in for the girls?
We kept it very simple in the way that there was a lawn, which was nice.
Oh, see, I didn't have any lawn.
Ooh.
The girls are going to love that bit. I can almost, this is like where the girls would be hanging out, isn't it? Sort of in the meadow.
I did put one thing in that they really didn't want as well.
Oh, feature.
Yeah.
Keen on a water feature, but the fact that it's raised, and like Charlie said, they can run their hands in it and things like that.
I think that surprised you a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it has, actually.
Let's see what they think.
Will they choose the brothers' crazy path and secluded garden? Or Charlie's children's wonderland with water feature? It's time to find out.
Hello.
Hi.
So it's been an incredibly difficult decision, and I mean really difficult for us. Ooh. But the one that we have chosen is...
Yeah! Awesome decision, guys. What made you choose ours?
I think that the privacy, the use of the recycling, and the fact that there is still pockets and areas for the children where we can talk to them about growing the vegetables, the fruit, and the little area in the corner that really kind of sold it to us.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Can't wait to do it.
It's a great result for the Rich brothers, but they'll need Charlie's help to turn this concrete wasteland into a green oasis of calm. It's the day of the build, and it's going to be busy for project manager Andy and his team of Chris and the two Bens.
Oh, well, there's a nice big patio. We're done, aren't we? I'll tell you, it's a beautiful backdrop, though. Cycling all these slabs.
Oh, really?
yeah, really,
Oh,
honestly.
mate.
No, don't say that, because what we are bringing in is a crusher.
Oh, a crusher.
Yeah.
Ooh, a big machine.
Like those massive
love
things
it.
you see, like...
Big boys' toys.
Yeah,
That's what I
it's
like.
going to be amazing.
Bring
I
it
can't
on.
wait. I can't wait. So, what we really need to do is kind of get all the slabs up so that we can kind of mark out, get a, spade in the ground to see what we're dealing with. Let's get cracking.
No, let's get crushed.
Oh,
hey.
There it is. There it is.
So Chris gets to work ripping up the old patio with a breaker. The slabs come up nice and fast, but he makes a worrying find.
This is a cross-section of what we're dealing with. Cement on slab, possibly about 150 mil thick. And this is a cross that we're digging up, crushing up and reusing.
The landscapers have a bigger job than they expected. But the arrival of the concrete crusher comes to the rescue.
Andy, ready? Ready? Crusher on. That's ready to go.
A match for these lumps of cement and paving, crushing them down to gravel-sized pieces that it spits out again.
That's lush. That's absolutely lush.
While the landscapers recycle the paving, out front, Ben's recycling wood, turning old scaffold boards into new raised veg beds. In short order, that huge pile of concrete and slabs is all but gone, and the lawn area's filled with fresh... The build's on track. Perfect timing as the designers are on their way.
Michael and Rebecca love everything recycled and upcycled. So normally we get rid of everything old from the garden, but in this case we're going to keep it and reuse it.
You're going to be looking at reusing a lot of materials, plastic included.
That's one of your jobs today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Along with Bug Hotel.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah.
We are going to be on crazy paving.
That's right, you've got that real crazy paving.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. It's looking good, Andy.
You're fantastic.
Looking great. This garden is all about the 3 different areas. This first area that we're in at the moment is connected with the house. Now, the interior had a gorgeous atmosphere. It was nice and modern, very social space. So actually, we're going to continue the garden. We're going to have a gorgeous reclaimed bench, reclaimed and recycled, actually. Ben's working on it at the moment. The crushed gravel that we're on here.
It's looking great, isn't it?
When it's been whacked down, it creates a really cool look. So that's going to cover most of the garden, except for this reclaimed crazy pathway that's going to lead from the double doors out into the garden.
And there's also one other area within this first space, which is going to be a seating area, somewhere they can have a table and a bench, but it's surrounded by hedging, contained by that, and that creates a lovely, cosy feeling, and it sits beautifully in this area. But that helps to divide it from where the lawn's going to go, and also some meadow. So that's a lovely soft area, and we've got some beautiful shrubs, some climbers, and some nice perennials as well, just to soften this whole garden and introduce a bit of greenery.
Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? And then the final area is going to be all about produce. So we're giving them 2 raised veg beds. They can start growing herbs, veggies, have some fun things on the walls.
Before any of that can be put in, the brothers have to finish making the gravel. So, with the crusher fired up, they set to work on the remaining slabs.
Nice. Oh, well, I don't think that could have been any more fun, really, being an on-road skip. So instead of getting rid of the paving, that arduous task of carrying everything out to the skip, we've got this machine in, which breaks it all down and creates this gorgeous material, which is exactly what we were looking for.
Now, obviously, quite a lot of these chunks are too big for gravel. But actually, what we're going to do is we're going to rake away the top layer, and then it leaves a much finer material. Whack it down, that's going to basically create a self-binding gravel.
Better get on.
Yeah.
The fun's over.
With its job done, it's time for the crusher to exit. While Charlie and Ben the carpenter get on with her recycled plastics feature.
We've got this lovely recycled scaffold boards that we've made into almost picture frames, shelves. One's going to go upright, one's going to go on its side, and then these are going to be little planters that self-water. So all I need to do now is drill the top. So I'm basically making a hole big enough to thread some string through. It's going to act as a wick.
Can I borrow your drill, Charlie?
You can borrow your drill back, I'll let you.
Very much.
And it's just a case of threading the string up through there, tying a knot, screwing it back on. So basically, that is going to be the pot. This acts as a wick. Put that where you have some water in it. Because of capillary action, the water will get sucked up the string to the plant whenever the plant wants the water. And it's going to look very arty. Just get the plants now, you see. So we'll have one there, and one there. Morning. And morning. One there, and another one there.
With the gravel compacted, the brothers spray out their crazy paving path.
In here?
Lovely.
That'd be nice.
Well, what we're doing at the moment is we're just spraying out where we want the pockets of plants to sit amongst the crazy paving. Now, we're going to have lots of different materials in here, which is going to be a lovely textured walkway, but it's always nice to soften those hard materials. So we're going to have a couple of plants just to knit and weave in between all the slabs.
I think that's about right, isn't it, probably?
It's lovely.
Well, now it means we can start putting in the crazy paving around the circles.
Oh, the fun.
And so they get to work on the crazy, crazy path, laying out materials. Out at the front, Charlie's persuading Ben to work some magic.
Got these, and I sort of want them to float, yeah?
Got you.
All right?
Yep.
Quick sharp, Ben's made slots for a bar to slide through. Corner of the garden, the brothers pitched a produce area, and that's where Charlie's recycled plastic planters will live.
So veg beds are basically going here, so you could bait on here.
Right, we got one that goes that way. This is that one.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we've got one that goes...
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We think.
Blends in with the old dust-covered fences, isn't it? Fantastic.
What's...
Awesome.
Is that due south, is it? Yeah. This way into the garden.
With the positions decided, Ben attaches the shelves to the concrete fence supports. But not all decisions come so easily.
Oh, you're...
Is that too much?
It might be quite nice if it's still linear. Should we try it?
Yeah.
Oh, turn it different side up. Madness. Oh.
Benji found that one.
Magic. Now, it's a lot of fun making this crazy paving, but we have to remember that it is a pathway. It's the main pathway from the house out into the garden. So the one thing we really need to consider is that everything's level. So basically, it needs to be crazy on the 2D, but on the 3D, it needs to be perfectly flat. Midway through the path now, and it's finally starting to come together. I feel like now we can relax and start to see what it's going to look like.
Good times ahead now, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. As you look down the path, all the colours are different, but they work really nicely together. We've got bricks, we've got concrete, we've got humped edges. We've also got other materials like this grate, which looks wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So it's going to be so fun to be able to use this in here as well, something they'll step over. We're thinking we love the idea of having some soil so things self-seed through it. Could be quite cool. It's just playing around, having a bit of fun.
front, Charlie and Ben are upcycling an old cable drum into the ultimate bug hotel.
So, construction's basically done. This has been divided up with lots of different materials for the bugs to hibernate in. Offcuts of wood left over from the top, corrugated cardboard, scrunched up paper, and in this last slot there, I've got this straw stuff. So you can see where I'm going now. Yeah. So then we've got some moss and we've got some erodiums, which is a pretty little alpine plant. It's going to be so posh, we're going to have to make a little plaque.
Oh, yeah?
Saying, welcome to Buckingham Palace.
Oh, my giddy arm.
Yes.
Between the path and the fence, landscaper Ben is making a reclaimed brick bench.
Rightio. Oh, nice, H.
And the brothers are giving it a recycled plastic twist.
The reclaimed bench is coming along really nicely, Ben. Sterling job.
Sir.
But we're left with the cavity in the middle of single-use plastic, so things like wrappers, containers, stuff like that. Now, eco-bricks like this are actually becoming very popular in the modern day, and especially in developing countries. And that's because they're used as an alternative to other structures, things like breeze blocks or bricks, stuff like that. What they do is they actually use this as the structure, and then they'll render the outside of it. So it appears as a normal wall, but actually it's filled with this stuff. So we're going to stack them like that. Fill around with either sand or some hardcore just to keep them sturdy. And then if we need to, we can do a top layer. So what's quite nice is, once they're inside the wall, they're completely hidden, because they're not exactly pretty.
As the walls rise, the middle is filled with even more eco-bricks.
In for a little then? Oh, yeah.
And at the front of the house, Charlie's creatively recycling milk bottles.
Here we go. Time to pot up my recycled milk cartons. So I've put a drainage hole in, I'll put some gravel in the bottom, and then they're going to hang like that. So there'll always be a little bit of water there, but there won't be so much that it doesn't make the plants overly wet. These are petunias. Really lovely colours, and I know Rebecca's really keen for Eleni and Thea to sort of come out in the garden and do things. And with bedding plants like this, they keep flowering all through the summer as long as heading them. So that'll be something that the girls can do because it's really easy. Ooh, that's very flashy.
Is it crazy?
It's cool.
I know we realise we can't really do crazy.
It's not crazy.
Tell you what, it's looking pretty cool, though. Look at those.
Right, so these are for over there on our distress plantery thing, but I probably need a hand.
Yeah. Do you need me over?
I need someone. So I've got to think about this. Right then, thread. Wait for it.
Is this going all the way through now?
Wait,
one more
wait
on.
for it.
This is ingenious.
Wait for it.
Another one?
Yeah.
All the way through?
All the way through to there. That's it. Get it in. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait for it. Right then.
Ready to go?
Yeah, just gently. So you got to tap it, mate. That's it. And they can take
That's
it out.
Lovely.
With the produce area taking shape, veg beds with good soil. And out front, Charlie can fill the last of her recycled, self-watering planters.
And flowers all summer long. Another little alpine. It's a white sea thrift. So basically, we've got the plant with the pot. So this pot comes out. So, and the string goes into the water. So the plant can always get water, and you'll know when it needs watering because the water will have gone down. So then you just take it out, top the water up, and you can't overwater. There we go. It's very simple. But I have to say, I think it looks quite arty having this distressed fence and timber with the sort of odd splash of colour. Just one plant, it really shows them off. I think it's quite cute.
And it's not just Charlie bringing plants into the garden.
Oh.
It is such a pixie flower.
I love it.
Looks like little fairy dresses.
Yeah.
It's just so stunning.
To give a sense of privacy, the brothers chose 3 multi-stemmed hazel trees at a cost of £210.
Yeah, where's the other one going? Over there, isn't it?
Over here, mate. It's just... Cool, is that roughly the right area, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool, all right, I'll dig a hole.
With the hazel planted, the brothers put in a privet hedge. It'll separate the garden into zones, and at around £230, it's a great investment. Along the back fence, Charlie plants a honeysuckle. Once it's grown, it'll give a cosy, private feel to the area. And in the summer, it'll be packed with scent-filled flowers.
The garden's changed a bit. They're not going to recognise it. The girls will think they're in the wrong out. I mean, it looks hugely different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's nice getting a bit of structure in here.
Yeah.
While Charlie plants a big privet for extra privacy, landscaper Ben lays the lawn, starting with the wild meadow turf around the edge of the garden. And with the work nearly done, the brothers soften the hard boundaries with plants.
You get in there, little guy. All the different reclaimed materials in this pathway have really given it a nice sense of age. And one way to further that is actually by planting some gorgeous plants in the cracks. We wanted a lot of things to self-seed and actually to spread and take advantage of some of the other cracks in the paving. So we've used Erigeron here, which is a really beautiful flower. Originates in Mexico, and it's famous for thriving in cracks in walls or in paving. So I positioned it next to this gorgeous grate here. We'll put a bit of soil. We're going to take advantage of that space. I'm also planting Bina Wonderful. It loves to self-seed. It'll really give that sense of age. And with things like thyme, they kick up a lovely aroma when you walk over them as well.
For the new entertaining area, Chippy Ben is making a picnic table from reclaimed timber. And he's recycling more old scaffold boards for the top. And as a last task of the day, he's making a seat for the eco-brick bench.
Now, the planting within the garden is very delicate, and there's hues of light pink and purple, which creates a cohesion, and everything's knitted together. But each plant plays a different role. And we've got Thalictrum here, which is incredibly delicate. You can see the flowers here, just almost like a gauze, just creating a beautiful bit of height. But it's that little pink touch that lifts up and has this beautiful... And it plays a lovely relationship with the Salvia nemorosa here, which again has a lovely soft pink. And the Veronicastrum, again, a very pale kind of lavender colour. So when you're thinking of planting, maybe think about choosing 1 or 2 colours. I mean, pink and purple together, you might think would be quite boring, but choosing different hues of them really helps to highlight the individual plant.
The final touch is a top dressing of sand and a good going over with the compactor. And with the arrival of Ben's table and Charlie's Buckingham Palace, the garden is complete.
Where is it going? Where is it going?
I reckon by the meadow.
Why is Charlie following us with water?
Anointing your
Thank
way.
you. Oh, thank you, blessed
It's
one.
actually very refreshing.
Hey, don't waste all the water.
So this is because this bug hotel has everything.
Right, is it a 5-star?
It has food.
Of course.
It has water for bathing. It has hibernation home.
Yeah.
And then it has a plush shag pile carpet.
Fantastic.
You've outdone yourself today.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I've had a good time
That is
today.
royal standard.
You look like you've done a little bit in it.
We've tried our hardest.
It's lovely. It's going to make this garden so much nicer to be in.
Yeah.
Michael and Rebecca's garden was a dull, overlooked box with an uneven patio and 1 solitary plant. It's now had a £3,000 transformation. Out has gone the old patio to be recycled into the new garden. A crazy path of reclaimed bricks and tiles wends its way to the back of the garden with grasses and fragrant herbs poking through the gaps. A reclaimed bench filled with area with upcycled furniture. While hazel trees and scented climbers provide privacy and hide the fences. To the rear, a child-friendly lawn is surrounded by hedging and fruit trees. And a produce area is filled with veg beds and recycled plastic planters.
Keep them closed. You don't even trust yourself, do you? Look at that.
It smells amazing.
It's time to see what Rebecca and Michael think of their new recycled garden.
Oh, nice. Right, OK, without further ado, open your eyes.
Oh, man, wow.
Oh, my...
That is incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
That is amazing. Look at it.
It doesn't look the same at all.
That's lucky.
It's not the same place.
There's no paving slabs. Oh, my God.
Hey, there are a few.
Oh, my God, I love this.
Oh, that's so cool. Look at it.
Well, I think it's a hit. Definitely a hit.
Trees.
Oh, man,
It's all green. I love it so much.
Girls are going to absolutely
God, look down there.
love this. It's just so vibrant, the plants. I can't believe it. It's exactly what we hoped
Yeah.
for, isn't it?
There's just something everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's just life, and that's so amazing. To go from something so blank to just so full. It's beyond anything I could have dreamt for. Actually, thank you so much.
It is. Thank you.
so much.
It is incredible.
It is amazing, in such a small space, how much you can actually fit into the garden.
I love the pattern. It's just amazing.
You
You
had
can still
fun
see
doing
some of
that.
the original ones as
Yeah, reclaimed bricks. We've got old lawn edging.
well. I love those.
They're really
The
cool, aren't
pattern's
they?
amazing.
Something else.
That pathway, the crazy pathway, is really cool.
The thing that you probably don't know is that we've reused all the slabs that you had in the garden.
Oh my God.
But we actually got a big machine in here that crushed it all up. So everything on the floor actually crushed concrete.
Is it?
Wow.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
added a little bit of grit in just to kind of just knit it all together a little bit. So that's the fine bit on the top. But otherwise, everything's been reused.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Exactly what I wanted.
Through to the dining area. It's not far away.
No.
But it's nice to actually have a designated space for dining now.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely fantastic just to be able to come out here with the children, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's going to be
Glass of
incredible.
wine.
Oh, of course.
When the kids go to bed.
Right on. We decided to place one just romantically in the gravel.
Yeah.
I love it.
Then we've got the veg beds here.
Oh my gosh.
The girls will love this corner of the garden. I know they will. Firstly, they'll love eating the strawberries.
Yeah,
but-
they won't last tonight.
And these are reclaimed.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you can see, they've got plenty of wear and tear on them. So it's just nice to be able to put some lawn into the garden. It's really important.
Yes.
Be a great space. And then give them a little drink and some extra food and a place to hibernate.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's the best mini feast hotel I've ever seen.
It is.
Beautiful. I can't believe how much you've fit in such a small space. It's incredible.
It's hard to believe,
It is,
isn't
yeah.
it?
And in such a short time. I can't quite believe this is our garden. This is, it's beyond amazing. Thank you so much.
No worries. Right, guys, I think it's about time we get Eleni and Thea in.
Yes.
And maybe some of the landscapers and Charlie as well.
Big step. Get ready.
Open your eyes. What's in here, girls? Strawberries, Thea.
Can I put it and then wash it?
Yeah, you can.
After time to reflect, what do Rebecca and Michael think of the family's recycled garden?
What's amazing is that the garden is just full of life now, and from something that was so plain before, and we were so uninspired, and to come out in the garden now and you can smell the flowers and smell the soil, and it's almost a completely different space, and just to be able to have friends and family here to enjoy it with is amazing.
So these little flowers here are called petunias. And do you know what they remind me of? They remind me of Harry Potter's hat.
Bedtime stories with Charlie Dimmock, eh?
Do you think that's good fun? Cool! Yay! We're happy. We're happy.